What's up, peeps? Today we got a very controversial topic to talk about. Are controller players with aim assist better than mouse and keyboard players? Who has the advantage? And if you play on controller with aim assist, are you a really good player because of the amount of time that you put into the game and just because of your general game sense? Or is that all a hoax and you are just the player that you are because of the computer's aim assist? Ladies and gentlemen, a console player is going to give you their view. So just a little background, I have played on console my whole life. I do play some PC games once in a while. I play more of the realistic type games on PC. And as well, the gameplay that you are going to be watching in the background is actually me playing on console without any aim assist. Just so you guys know my stats, I'm a pretty good player in Fortune Scheme. I've got 5.4 KD now. And again, just so you guys can notice the differences of how a good player plays without aim assist in Warzone. So now let's talk about the biggest question. Is aim assist really that overpowered? And like, could people just play without aim assist? I know there's so many people and I get so many comments like, oh, you still play on aim assist? Imagine, you know? So is it really like that? And I'm gonna tell you, it's a huge help. Like, if you're a controller player and you think that you could play without aim assist and play at the same level, you are completely wrong. And then also, if you're a mouse and keyboard player and you think that it's such a huge advantage and that aim assist is overpowered, you're also completely wrong. I think it's at a good middle ground that controller players really need aim assist, because to tell you the truth, if you play without aim assist, it is a lot harder than it seems. And that goes to one of my main points. If mouse and keyboard players and players in general say that without aim assist, you would be a trash player. I mean, that's like the main argument, right? Aim assist does everything for you. If you had no aim assist, you'd be trash. So then they're kind of admitting that without aim assist, it'd be impossible to play on controller. I mean, people that call you trash because you use aim assist are basically saying that, yes, it is really, really, really hard to play on a controller without aim assist. So hence, that is why there's aim assist. And I'm gonna just really briefly compare both on why you really need aim assist on controller and why on mouse and keyboard it is gonna be significantly better to aim there. Number one is gonna be the surface area, right? On mouse and keyboard, you've got obviously the bigger your mouse tracking is, the mouse pad is, the more you can move around with your mouse, right? Obviously, everybody knows that. The bigger of an area, the more places you have to aim because you're aiming with your whole hand and you got a bigger surface area. And this usually comes to the smaller adjustments where you're making, because for example, you got your mouse right here. Let's say this is my mouse right here. If I had a big mouse pad, right, the size of my face cam right here, right, and I'm right here in the middle, and I want to make a micro adjustment to the left, I could do this, right? In this, obviously, depending on my sensitivity and other stuff, this could be a micro adjustment. You know what a micro adjustment is on controller? I'll show you right here. This right here, that right there, could be a micro adjustment. Can you see why this, a micro adjustment versus this right there, is a huge difference? I mean, on PC and mouse and keyboard, you got a bigger advantage, right? You got a bigger margin of error, right? It's a lot easier to hit a bigger target than right here. Obviously, if you barely miss this, I mean, if you barely miss this by a little bit, just take a look at how much you're moving. That's why controller freaks came out with that thing where you have the higher rise thumbsticks, and that is actually pretty important. Take a look right now. When you have your lower, which I do have on my left hand so you guys can see the difference there, the lower only allows you to move a little bit. When you have a higher thumbstick, you got a bigger movement on the air. And it's kind of like, again, if you're thinking about mouse and keyboard, it's like buying a bigger mouse pad, right? Imagine playing on controller. Just to translate what it'd be, I dare you to play mouse and keyboard on a mouse pad that is this big, right? This is basically what a controller is, because let's say you got your mouse pad right here, right? And you want to move all the way to the left, right? If you have a big mouse pad, you can move your arm all the way to the left and it's going to rotate all the way to the left. If you had a mouse pad this size and you want to move all the way to the left, what do? You move your mouse to the left and then you let it rotate, which is basically what you do on console, right? On console, you want to move all the way to the left, you hit it, you let it go, and then it has to rotate. It's the same thing. Imagine mouse and keyboard when you're playing on a mouse pad where you can barely do this. This is all you could do. I just dare you to play like that. It is going to be significantly harder to play on that than to play on a big mouse pad. And also, a lot of the things was because controller players not only had a disadvantage while aiming, but they had a disadvantage on movement. And movement has been pretty crucial in the upcoming years, right? Before, jump shotting and bunny hopping and slide canceling wasn't really a thing, but when Warzone came out, it really elevated that and took that to the next level. If we're talking about an everyday PlayStation 5 controller, everyday Xbox controller, whatever, obviously you would have your, let's go like this, you would have your aim right here, right? And if you wanted to jump, you would have to take your thumb out and jump. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about right now about the bumper, jumper, tactical, all those things, but just talking about why aim assist also existed, because remember, it's not just that they put it in right now. It's been throughout a long time, right? If you want to move and then you want to jump, you have to go here. You want to move and crouch, you have to go here. Now, obviously, they changed this to where there's bumper, jumper, and stuff like that, but it's still not the same because you got on mouse and keyboard a full hand that is just focused on doing movement, and then you got another hand that all it does is focus on aiming. Here, you got two different hands, and then when people play claw and stuff like that, you got a finger aiming while you have another finger changing weapons, plating up, crouching, jumping, but it's all with the same hand. So it's like, imagine playing on a mouse, and this hand right here, you also had buttons in your mouse, and that was focused on how you're jumping, you're crouching. You couldn't use your space jump. You couldn't use anything else. It all would have to be from your mouse. It would be a little bit harder. And that is where I bring up my other question on why I do think aim assist, I don't know if it's going to have to be reduced, but then we got the people that play on PC and not only have a controller, because obviously on PC, you get 120 FOV, you get better frames, you get better resolution. Obviously, again, the comparison against console, but that's not what we're talking about right now. But let's say you are playing on PC and you're playing on a controller, and not only that, now you also have a custom controller. That is where there is a huge advantage. Somebody playing on controller, you got a custom controller. That means that with your back fingers right here, you can jump. And then that means that you got this hand free to do whatever you want, because you got obviously all sorts of buttons here in the back. And that is where it reduces it even more. But even with that, just purely talking about aim, I still think, I mean, if you take a look at players like Shroud, the best players on PC, I mean, if you took the best players on PC, right, crazy snaps and all that, the best player on console would not even come close to the accuracy and aim and flicks that a really good player on PC has. I mean, just never. You're never going to see that. You can maybe see a console player, you know, on controller, sometimes hitting some nice flicks here and there, but you will never see a consistent gameplay of, I mean, amazing snipes over and over and over, an amazing aim like you will somebody on mouse and keyboard. I mean, their aim, somebody that's good, is just going to be a lot better. But it doesn't mean that it comes easy. Those players took a long time to get to where they are. And I just want to ask you something. Do you want video games, we're talking about Warzone specifically, right? But imagine if Warzone didn't have aim assist for controller, and it'd be really, really hard. I mean, because it was pretty hard. Do you want it to be a game where only sweats play? I mean, because if the game is really hard to aim and people can't aim and there's no aim assist and it's hard, casual players aren't going to play. So you as a player, do you really want this? Do you really want the game to be so hard to play that only professional players can play it, only sweaty players can play? Because the easier the game is to play, the more open it is for people that all over the world that aren't sweaty get to play. That's what Fortnite was so big. Fortnite actually had a big problem with aim assist at the beginning, and that is where the aim spamming came. Like, you would aim and the aim assist would just be so OP that it just like straight to the target. Kind of like campaign games, kind of like zombies. We all know the aiming spamming became pretty OP. You'd see a dude, you'd aim, you shoot, you remove your aim. You aim, shoot, aim, shoot, aim, shoot. And that became pretty pop again in zombies and in Fortnite because it was so easy. But there also comes to a point where you have to balance it between it's so easy and also medium. And honestly, in my opinion, I do think Warzone is at a middle ground right now, because there's also, I mean, a lot of occasions where aim assist doesn't work, like through stairwells or through certain windows. It just does not work at all. Also, if you have two players next to each other and you're trying to aim to another one, aim assist sometimes is so powerful that like it doesn't know who to lock on, and then you can't switch good. So there's just bad things with aim assist as well. But right now, to be honest, I feel that it's in a good place. And not to mention that aim assist doesn't make the player. A big part of it is your game sense and your IQ and what you're doing in game. And your aim still matters. And then now, not to mention that without aim assist, you'd be the same player. Then definitely not. But again, like I said before, if all mouse and keyboard players, if you call somebody on console, somebody on controller trash because they're using aim assist and saying that without aim assist they can aim, then again, you're agreeing to their point. If you're saying that they can't aim on it without aim assist, then there's a reason, because it is fucking hard. Ladies and gentlemen, that was it for me. Let me know what you guys think and what are your opinions about this down below in the comment section. Peace out, everybody. I'll see you all in the next one.